before we get started, we're gonna have some. I'm gonna make up some cornbread because we're gonna have. You can have cornbread with it or crackers. So we're gonna make up some cornbread. This is the cornbread mix that I use, but I mix regular cornmeal with it, a little flour, and believe it or not, I put a little sugar in it. Don't go crazy on the sugar. And this is some of the stuff that we actually get in our box from 3 Squares. And this is some of the milk that you can make it up with. And so we're going to make up the cornbread first and put it on. And I put 2 eggs in it. This is kind of like that Jiffy mix. But like I say, to make it more like, you know, you're doing it from scratch, put your little regular cornmeal in it, eggs and milk, and make it up. It doesn't take but a few minutes, so we're going to put this on first, so by the time we finish, the cornbread will be ready. And you can have with crackers or cornbread, or you can use both if that's what you like. But this is the cornbread. And like I said, it's not going to take very long to make this up, get some of these lumps out of it. And we're going to have this going in just a minute. In the meantime, also, I got on the stove a pot with 4 cups of water in it. And I'm just going to get it to boiling before I start with everything else. So just hang with me for a minute. Ain't gonna take long. Also, these vegetables that's on this table is some of the vegetables that be in the 3 Squares boxes, bags that we be giving out, like the mixed vegetables, the pasta sauce, corn, like I said, even the milk. So we just get all of that stuff, and this is just some things that you can do with what you have in the box. And each week, twice a week really, we're going to use some of that what's in the box to show you what you can do with it. Only thing that wasn't in it was the ground beef. And you don't need very much ground beef. The ground beef is, I'm using 3 pounds today. I have that cooking spray. I'm gonna make some cornbread muffins. This is my pan that I'm gonna cook them in. I always spread it with some non-stick spray so my muffins won't stick. And today everybody gonna get 2 cornbread muffins because it's soup. So you want to have enough. Get a few more of these lumps out. And I'm going to pour it in this pitcher. It'll be easier for me to pour it in the muffin pan. Like I say, it's not going to take very long. This is for somebody that don't really like to cook or just don't have too much time, but you still got to eat. So I just pour it in my muffin pan. Don't fill it all the way up because it's got to rise up a little bit. And I think this is about 12 muffins on each tray. Like I say, just hang with me.
Don't put them all the way up?
No, because it might just run over a little bit. You ain't trying to, and what I do too is, I put a little oil on top of mine. To me, it makes it brown a little bit better. And then it's something that I've seen my mom do. Don't ask me exactly why it was, but it seemed like it always came out really pretty and brown. So.
Can you put butter on it?
You can put butter on it too, and I'm still gonna put butter on it after it come out the oven. I'm gonna put butter on top of it, just kind of saturate it with butter.
That's why it's so soft and moist.
Honestly, I don't know way. It just makes it, to me, a much better taste. You got that little crunchiness of it, and it gives a much better taste. You know, butter always gives stuff a better taste.
Yum, yum.
I'm not saying, well, you know, you probably need to get salt-free, get the salt-free butter. And you know, a lot of times you get the butter and you get that blue bonnet and different other. You don't just have to have butter. You can have margarine, whichever one you like.
What is the oven set to?
Huh?
The temperature of the oven?
The oven is always. I have the oven for baking on 350. Sorry about that, and I preheated the oven too. So it's set on 350. And it's okay in a regular oven. But the oven I'm using today is a convection oven. So the heat in it just kind of rotates in it. So it makes everything cook faster and brown better. Not saying that you need to go buy your convection oven now. But it would be nice. Give me a few seconds. I'm going to put this in the oven. And then we're going to start on the soup itself. I went on and pre-cooked the ground beef. You're just going to take ground beef and brown it. Get that pink, get it from being all pink and everything. And if you want to put a little onions in it to cook it with, then that's fine too. But I'm going to put onions in the soup. So I got the soup, the onions all, I'm sorry. I got the ground beef already done and just sitting off to the side. I drained off that excess fat. Okay, we can get started now. Okay, like I said, I got 3 cups of water in here. It's beginning to boil. I'm going to put my onions in it. The diced tomatoes that we get from 3 Squares. So I put this in there too, and I got 2 cans in it. And but I put it in the process and just kind of beat it up a little bit. I didn't want the whole tomatoes in it. This is some of the pasta sauce that we get in the box too. So I've just opened it up and I'm just gonna pour that in there straight out the can. I'm gonna use 3 cans of it.
Your pasta seasoning, does that have seasoning in it?
The pasta sauce, it has some seasoning in it, not very much, but you can always add seasoning to it. This is some of the tomato sauce that we get. Sorry about this. This is beef base. This is 2 tablespoons of beef base I'm putting in. That's my seasoning. This is And this is some crushed red peppers and black peppers. It's 1 teaspoon. We're just gonna mix all this up. Turn it up a bit. Okay, these are your vegetables. Don't drain your vegetables. It's just plain mixed vegetables. You don't have to drain them because you're gonna use that juice anyway. So I got 4, then I got 5 cans of mixed vegetables. It's all according to how big you want your soup. And this is gonna be for about 12 people. And you can put as many vegetables in it as you want. And you know that's carrots, carrots, celery, onions, peas, all potatoes, all that together. And I'm gonna put 1 can of corn, even though it already has corn in it. I like corn, so I'm gonna put an extra can of corn in it, and it's just plain whole kernel corn. It's the Great Value brand. This is what it looked like. Can you see it? I ain't trying to turn it over, but this is what it looked like. All your mixed vegetables and spices and stuff is all in here. This is what it looked like. This is all your spices, your onions and mixed vegetables. And since it's already cooked, you just let it heat up real good. Just make sure that it's fine for me, but if you want more seasoning in it, you can always add more seasoning. Right now, you're just gonna let it. I'm saying it was okay for me. It's kind of a little bit spicy because I'm not used to a whole lot of spices, but that would be good for anybody else if they like spices. If not, cut down on your crushed peppers and black pepper. The cumin is fine because you know it's a little spicy too. Other than that, to me, it's fine. And also, if it get a little bit too spicy, put you a little brown sugar in it, maybe a tablespoon of brown sugar, and just kind of taste it as you go, and make sure you got everything you want and it's tasting the way you want it to taste. What else? Can I get a lid over there on the shelf? A lid. I'm gonna just push this out the way. I'm gonna just push this out the way. I don't really need this right now. Okay. You can just cover it up and then get that first boil. In the meantime, I got my butter up here ready for my cornbread. I got a green salad sitting off to the side. And
So when do you put the beef in?
I'm gonna let it start boiling first before I put the beef in it. And once you put the beef in it, all you want it to do is just get really hot. If you want it thicker, then you make a roux, and I do have the recipe for a roux. It's 2 different kind of roux. You can cook your roux and brown it, or you can just, the way I cook it is with vegetable oil, flour, put it on the stove in a skillet, and you're gonna have to constantly stir because you don't want it to burn. And you let it brown, and get it brown as you want to, and then I let it cool off before I put it in the pot, because you gotta still stir it as you're putting it in the pot. Or the quick way is to just, for me, is to just put some oil, about a half a cup of oil, and then maybe about a fork, or maybe even more flour in it, and just mix it all up, get it really nice and creamy, get your lumps out of it, and have it sort of like a pancake batter. You know how it be, so you could just pour it, and you just pour it over in your pot. As you put it in your pot, make sure you're stirring it, because you don't want it to lump up. And then just put as much as you want in there to make it the sauce as thick as you want. And if you get it too thick, then just add a little bit more water back in it. And that's your roux. And if you want to make a roux in advance, and just for anything else, you can make up a roux, brown it. It'll stay longer. Brown it and put it in a sealed container. And whenever you want to, you're making a gravy or whatever, then put your little in and stir it and get it as thick as you want. And it works. To brown it, if you got a white gravy and you want to brown the gravy, I use Gravy Touch and either Kitchen Boutique, but don't use much because it's really concentrated and it'll make it too dark.
Now I know that I don't know, but can you make like a creamy? By using cream, can you make like a sauce or something out of it?
That if you're using cream, it's gonna make it thicker and richer. I mean, it's really nice and it's good. It's just gonna make it thicker and richer, more richer, and I say creamier.
Uh-huh.
That's the difference in using a cream to make a gravy than to make, I say, with vegetable oil and flour.
Okay.
But it still works though. So don't throw it out the door.
Now I've heard that you can actually use when you're cooking with the meat. There's actually the remnants of the meat still in the pan. You can actually make gravy out of that.
You can, like you got, I'll say your drippings from your meat. I'll say like when you frying a chicken, you can pull all that oil off the chicken and leave all the little crumbs and stuff in the bottom of the pan, and have just a little of your grease still in it from your chicken. Put some flour over in there, and you can even cut your onions up and put it in there too, and cook them at the same time. And you just put your flour in there and just stir it around, get all your crumbs and stuff, and mix it all up. And you can even put a little chicken base in there, just a little, because you don't want to put too much. And you just pour your water in there and stir it. Make sure you're stirring it as you're putting it in there. And it'll get as thick as you want. You think you need a little bit thicker, put you some more water. Put you some more flour in there. And that'll make your gravy. That's really good. And that's just not for your chicken. That's for other meats, like you had boiled some meat, or maybe you cooked it in the oven. Same as for that. Just pull a lot of your juice off, and you can put your juice back in there after you put your thickening in. And if you want it browner, like I say, Kitchen Boutique, or either, and a lot of people in their gravy, they put a little Worcestershire sauce. It's really good. So just play with it.
Experiment, huh?
Yeah. Let's play with it a little bit. This is boiling, well, it's simmering right now. I'm gonna let it go a little bit longer. If you got some questions, you can always ask. It's a nice, pretty red sauce. And this is my ground beef. This is about 3 pounds of ground beef. And I just browned it off on top of the stove. And of course, I put little onions in mine. That butter brush up there.
Oh, so you brush them while they're in the oven?
No.
Oh, okay.
The cornbread will be out in a minute. It's getting all pretty and brown. Well, let you see it. It's getting there.
Yeah. Now, how do you know when it's done?
See how it done popped up and it's getting all brown and everything?
Does it pull away from the sides or something?
Huh?
Does it pull away from the sides?
It's gonna pull away from the side just a little bit.
I know if I used to stick a fork in it to see if it was done on the inside.
You can. I don't stick a fork in it. I just go ahead on and I say I know when it's done because it came from the side of the pan. Plus it's got the little, it's all crusty on the on the top around the edges.
Right.
And if you want to, you can stick a toothpick in it. If it come out with I say all wet with dough on it, then you know it's not done. And usually I'll let mine stand there for about 20, 30 minutes because it's not very thick. And it's all according to how much you got in there or how thick you got it. And it's on 350. So, like I say, play with it. If it didn't come out right this time, next time when you do it, do something a little bit different. And that'll be good. I'm gonna go ahead on and put my ground beef in it. This just gonna give it time to kind of cook a little bit. Some of the juices from the meat is gonna make the soup taste a lot better. And you can also put pasta in this. You can put elbow macaroni in it, or you can put shells in it. Also, that I've never really tried it yet. That brown pasta that we get from 3 Squares, you can break some of that up and put it in. And we also get the elbow macaroni from them too. And it's the wheat brand. That's the wheat. It's supposed to be healthier for us. I think the only difference with that wheat, you just cook it a little bit longer. That's something we don't do later down the road. We don't do some spaghetti with that. Or macaroni and cheese. So we gonna see how it really tastes. You don't have to put all the meat in there if you don't want to. That's left up to you. You can be as meaty as you want it to. And like I say, this is 3 pounds, so it's gonna be pretty meaty. And if you think you cook too much ground beef, you can always set it aside and make tacos another day.
Tacos.
Yeah, you can make tacos another day from that leftover ground beef. You can freeze it, or you can put it in the refrigerator. You're not gonna let it stay too long anyway. Or you can fix enchiladas with it, or you can do maybe a lasagna. It's always something you can do with leftover ground beef. And this soup that's left over, if you have any left over, you can always put it in a container, date it and stuff, and put it in the refrigerator, or either put it in the freezer. And it's really, really good left over.
How long did it keep?
This soup in the freezer will keep at least anywhere from, I say, maybe even a whole month. Because it's frozen. This is what it looked like. It's all chunky and with all your vegetables and stuff. I hope you can see it. Let me count. I know you can't see through me, but this is what it looked like. It's all chunky and all your meats and vegetables. Don't forget when you start serving it, take your bay leaves out. But it looks and smells really, really good. I'm just gonna let it cook a little while longer. I turned it down just a little, just to let it simmer a little bit. It smells like I smell my bread. If you want this, I think I'm gonna let it brown a little bit more. It's still, to me, a little bit too light. So I'm gonna let it cook just a little while longer. And in the meantime, we can do our salad. I already have a salad made up. This is just lettuce, tomatoes. That's all this is. You can make it as you go, or you can have it already made. I just have it already made. You can put whatever other kind of toppings you want with it. Cucumbers, avocados, croutons, whatever you might want to have with it. And you can use basically any kind of dressing that you want. My favorite is ranch. So you can use any kind of dressing you want. This is just the salad. As soon as the soup gets ready, we're gonna put the soup in a bowl. Can I get some crackers from behind you? I think I got some crackers in that sauce behind you. And like I said, you can eat this with cornbread or crackers. We got both. So we're just gonna put it in the bowl in a few minutes, but I'm gonna see first if I need to make it a little bit thicker. You can use regular saltine crackers or Ritz crackers. Excuse me. Ritz crackers. Like I say, you can use saltine crackers or Ritz crackers. I'm a little off this morning. I didn't have all my stuff sitting out like the crackers. So I'm a little bit off this morning. You can use saltine crackers. You can use any kind of crackers you want. You can even use croutons. Croutons would be good with this. And you just put it right on the edge of the plate. You can always go back to say. And like I say, if you want to, I like putting sugar and stuff, so if you want to, you can put a little sugar in it. And I prefer cooking with brown sugar. Just me. Me, myself, I think it's perfect. Let me let you see the juice and see if you think that you might want it a little bit thicker. This is the juice from it. You can't really see too much tail, but me, I think that's a little bit thin, just for me. So I'm gonna add a little bit of roux to it. Just a little. Because you also want your juice for your cornbread. I got some roux in those on the table. A roux in a cup. This is the roux, like I said, with flour and oil. You want to make sure it's all stirred up. This is kind of like a pancake batter. It's all, you can just pour it out. So I'm gonna pour just a little in there, and that's what I'm pouring it in. I'm gonna stir it up. I don't want it to be too too stiff, I don't really want to add more water to it. And it's best when you put this in it, just let it cook a little while longer. Just tighten it up a little bit. I don't want it too tight or too thick. This is what it looked like. It's not as thin as it was before. This is the great juice to it. I keep saying gravy.
Looking good. Yeah, I should do that again without the other hand.
Huh?
I should do that again without the other hand. You got the spoon.
Like I say, this is the juice to it. It's not as thick or thin as it was before, and you still want that juice to go with your cornbread or your crackers. You know how soup is. Some of it's thick, some of it's thin, but this is not real thin. This is kind of in between. I say medium.
That's some body.
And it's still boiling. I got it more on a simmer. And you need to keep stirring it for a few minutes just to make sure all there's nothing sticking in the bottom of the pan, in the bottom of the pot. And it doesn't take very long to fix this. Probably about 30, I said 30, 35 minutes. If that long. The longest thing to me is just cooking your ground beef off. And as you start putting it together, put your make up your cornbread, put your cornbread in the oven. That way when the cornbread come out, you're almost ready to eat. You can let it sit for a while, or even you can, this is my cornbread. I think that's pretty brown enough. And that was at 350 degrees, preheat your oven. That's my other cornbread. And I'm gonna put butter on top of it. This is just soft butter. And as you put it on, it's running all down sides of it. And if you want to, you can just take this cornbread and just start eating. It's really nice and hot. You got your butter already here. Just get you a little bowl and put it in that pan and put it in. Put a little bit of meat. Put a little bit more butter on it. Just go and sit down and eat it. I love cornbread anyway. I don't have to have anything with it. This is your meal. This is one meal all together, all in one. You got your meat, your vegetables, everything right there. And with this weather kind of off and on, it's a good soup to just have anytime.
Wish you could reach through the screen and just grab your piece.
You might want to invite somebody over, invite the grandkids, the kids over. But don't make it no habit because they'll keep coming back. Okay. That's your cornbread. It just comes right on. See how easy it comes right on out the pan. It just comes right on out. Nice and pretty brown on the bottom. Or you can just dump the pan over and all of it falling out. This is your cornbread. You can put it around on the side if you want. Or you can leave it on the plate on the side. I'm going to turn this off because it's still cooking. And don't forget to take your bay leaves out as you serve it. Give it a good stir from the bottom. This is what it really looks like. You might want to start off with a little bit first. This is just one layer of food. And you can put a little, this is just a little shredded cheese. You can just put it on the top of it, or you can just mix it in the whole soup. And there you go. Vegetable soup. This is it. Anybody want to taste it?
Joey said he want to taste it.
Oh,
Well,
well, come on now, George. Come on now, you can taste it. And you don't have to crumble your ground beef up so much. You see you got sort of like little meatballs here.
That looks good.
And you got all your vegetables.
Sorry, George, what you say?
You better come on.
Come on, my mask on.
Huh?
Do what?
Yeah, bring your own bowl.
BYOB. Bring your own bowl.
But this is it. This is an easy vegetable beef soup, and you don't have many ingredients, and you got time to spare.
There you go.
And if you want to, just take that whole muffin and just, you know how you're gonna do it when you're doing your green, just crumble it on up in there and get your spoon and just get busy. I appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much. This is it.
All right. Thank you very much. And look forward to seeing the next one.
Catch you the week after.
Yeah, catch you week after next. We'll send out invitations. Let everybody know.
Same time, same station.
Same bad time, same bad station.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, take care, guys. Sorry, George, one more time.
Come on, George, I got you.
You got you, man. Bring your own bowl, though. Bring your own bowl. All right. Take it easy.